So I took a little trip recently, and I flew with Delta Airlines, which I thought was fine. Booked a ticket and everything. I ended up staying 18 hours in, if I believe, Minneapolis. In Minneapolis Airport, I was there for 18 hours. I got there at 8 p.m. and I believe I left around 9 a.m. the next day. Or no, I can't even recall. I was there. I have all the documentation. And I calculated 18 hours. I should get the times. But I sent all the information over to Delta Airlines, and they basically just said, screw you. I'll pull up the email, and they only are giving me $129 for causing me an 18-hour layover and some other problems we'll get into later in the video very soon. So it was such a nightmare. Streams of people, like blood vessels pouring by, like just endless thousands and thousands of people walking by you for hours, constant noise, talking, and then bam, at like 9, I think like an hour after I got there, everything locked up immediately, which was the weirdest thing. I thought airports are open 24/7, not Minneapolis Airport. They just shut everything down after 9 o'clock. It was like, what? It's insane. And so I couldn't get really any food. I managed to get like 2 disgusting eggs, airport eggs, and some drink or something, but mainly I like barely ate. And I ended up staying awake for so long, I started seeing things, I started hallucinating. It was pretty bad. When I had to drive to my destination and, I rented a car, it was sort of getting into that because they just canceled my flight due to quote-unquote bad weather. I got no refund at all, basically, for anything. And because it was day of, I paid for a room and a rentable car, and that cost me $500 plus another $200, so it's like around $600, just totally down the drain. Probably a little more than that. I got to double check. And I had to buy everything, and because I had to rebuy everything last minute, it was really expensive. Overall, they lost me probably around $2,500 just in booking this ticket, booking this thing, and them screwing everything up one after another. They just couldn't stop screwing up, and I called an Indian man while I was like half awake, half asleep, that they put me on, and he earnestly tried to help me. He got his boss. He was like, bro, sir, friend, I cannot help you, man. I'm sorry, and he was like seriously like a total G about it. But yeah, because of, I ended up staying awake for like 50 hours total because of their screw up, and driving to my location after landing, I was hallucinating. I saw little creatures out of the corner of my eye. I hallucinated for a couple days after. I was really messed up. I finally slept and got some rest when I got to my hotel, which I had to get a real cheap one because this tore through my budget. Learned a lot about airlines and stuff. Due to the delay, it would have been, I flew across the country from west to east, but due to the delay, it actually would have been quicker to drive all the way across the country than fly with Delta. So it was just a nightmare. Everything went wrong. So let's go over around $2,500. They screwed me over, an 18-hour layover, probably a little extra, 50-ish hours awake, and I almost got into a car crash because of them screwing me. And so they screwed with my life. They could, I felt like I was on the verge of psychosis the entire time. I was like in and out of sleep. I was nodding off. I looked like I was on fentanyl. It was insane. I don't think I've been that awake for that long before. It was almost 3 days. I think it was 3 a.m. On the 3rd day of me being awake that I managed to fall asleep. It was nuts. In a way, it was kind of harrowing. It taught me that there's a lot of people who have a lot of power, and they'll just screw you. They'll fuck you however they see fit, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it at all. So you just got to live your life. You can't rely on anything. All this infrastructure just sucks. It sucks. That's the state of our society. Drive from place to place. If you book something, know that they can take it away at any moment. Maybe that's a better moral lesson, that the people at the top can take away anything at any moment. Anyway, that's all. Bye-bye.